Hi guys, welcome back again to my channel. Today I am Criss by name. Please do me well by subscribing to this channel so you get notified whenever I upload new video. So guys, today's video I'll be sharing with you on how to make this beautiful corset with a crisscross neckline with Basque effect. So I stumbled on this picture on the Instagram, and when I saw it I knew I wanted to recreate it. You get, so I recreated mine with this beautiful Ankara hem. So if you want to know how I achieved this, please keep on watching and let's get started. Please do me well by subscribing like I said earlier so you always get notified whenever I upload new videos. So guys, let's get started. So guys, the first thing you want to go ahead and do is to fold your paper into two, just like you see me did. Then you're going to place your tape. Now after placing your tape, you're going to go ahead and start your marking. So I'll place my tape here and I'll start marking my bust point, which is 9.5, come down by 12.5, which is my under bust, and 15 inches, which is my waistline. Then I will mark 18 plus 1 inch to give me 19 inches. This is going to serve as my full length for this crop top. So guys, after I was done doing that, I'm going to use my ruler to give it a straight line, connect it like this. Two souls colliding. We shared the pieces of ourselves, it's perfect. After making my straight line, I'm going to label the first line as the bust point, the under bust point, waistline, and the hem. Can you see? Now I'm done labeling. I'm going to go ahead and come up by 2 inches on the under bust line. Place your tape, come up by 2 inches. Do you get it? And after marking your 2 inch, go ahead and extend it to give you a straight line. Then after that, I'm going to label it as my chest line. Do you get? So I'll label it CL. CL means the chest line. Then after that, I'm going to come up here at the shoulder line. I'm going to divide my shoulder circumference into 2. Then you can see my chest line. I have 7.5. That is from my shoulder line down to the chest line is 7.5. Then I marked ½ inch for the shoulder slant. Come up here by 1 inch at the chest line armhole side. Then divide the midpoint and also come in by ½ inch. Then I'm going to go ahead and give my slant for the shoulder, and I use my curve rule to connect the 3 dots I have left. You get, so how you connect it is to divide your bust circumference into 2, then mark it without adding any stitching allowance here. Then go ahead and connect those points just like you see me doing. I always do this on the channel. Do you get, if you have been following me up? So here I labeled it as the shoulder. Can you see? I'm going to come up here by 3 inches for the neck wideness. Then I also come down by 3 inches for the neck depth. I'm going to use my curve rule to connect it to give me a round neckline, just like you see me doing. So guys, this shoulder line and the neckline is just for a guide. We won't be needing it. Do you get? So the next thing I'm doing now is that I divided the bust span, the nipple to nipple, into 2. Mine is always 7 inches. Divided by 2 is 3.5. So I marked it and I connected it to give me a straight line. Do you get? So from your bust point, go ahead and connect it down to your hem, just like you see me doing. Then after I was done doing this, guys, next thing I'm going to do now is to go ahead and from the bust point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Just make my point there for now. After making my point there, the next thing to do now is to come here. Then I'll subtract ½ inch on the both sides, just like this. Then do the same thing on the waistline as well. Subtract ½ inch on the waistline as well. Then I'm going to use my ruler to connect it. Do you get? So just watch very well so you see how I connected it. So from the point I marked my 1 inch, you get, go ahead and connect it like this to meet your waistline. Then after that, you connect it this way, give it a slant look. You get? So this is how it's going to look like for now. You get? Then after I was done doing this, next thing I'm going to go ahead and do now is to come up here on the chest line. I came up by ½ inch. You can decide to come up by 1 inch, or you can decide to maintain the chest line if you want. Then after that, I extended the line just like you see me doing. You get? Then after doing that, next thing I'm going to go ahead and do next is to use my marker now for the curves. You get? Remember, it's crisscross corset that I'm making, so this is the pattern drafting. You get? So just pay very attention here. So what I did next is to mark 1/4 inch on the both sides for my under bust. If you're busty, go ahead and mark 1/2 inch. You get, so I'm going to connect it to meet the hem line, just like you see me doing. So just connect it straight to meet the hem like this. Do you get? Then after I was done doing this, next thing to do now is to place my tape on the chest line. Then I will subtract 1 inch on the both sides. So this is for the bust tightening. Do you get? So go ahead and extend it, just connect it to meet the bust point. You came down by 1 inch. Do you get? So after connecting it like this is what is going to look like. This is for the bust tightening. Do you get? So after sewing your corset, it won't be caping at the top. Do you get? To avoid caping, that's why you're going to subtract this 1 inch on the both side. Then after that, I marked 1/2 inch on the center side, that is the folded part. I marked 1/2 inch here. Then I'll place my curve rule, then connect it to give me my curve for the corset cup. Do you get? Just look at how I will do that. But before then, like I always do when making my corset, I have to measure the length of this line I have here. So I have 3.5 inches on the other side. I measured the other one and I got 3 inches. So I added the 1/2 inches left, then I connected it just like this. I always do this on the channel if I'm drafting my corset. Be guided. So it's very important to do yours like that. Please do not forget. Then after that, what I'm doing next is to come here on the bust, on the under bust line. You're going to place your cover if you have any, then go ahead and connect it like this. If you don't have, you can actually make use of your free hand. Do you get? So guys, after I was done doing that, next thing to do now, to get the other side of the cup, I'm going to divide my bust circumference into 4. Then I marked it, divided what I have there at the armhole line, then came down by 1/2 inch. Do you get? So after doing that, next thing to do now is to connect it from this point to this other point, just like you see me doing. So go ahead and do yours like this. I want to remind us that we are making a 3-part corset for this crisscross neckline. Do you get? You can actually use just your 2-part corset, or you can just make your corset, but just let it be a crisscross neckline. Do you get? So me, I wanted to use a 3-part corset to make my own crisscross. So after making this curve for the boat cup, what I did next is to place my tape here, just like you see me doing. I am going to mark 2.5 inches on this side. You get? Then on the middle, I marked 2.5 inches. Do the same thing for here as well. Then I'm going to just go ahead and connect it. You get? So after making my points, I'll just go ahead and connect it just like you see me doing. We fueled the flames, but we're still learning to trust, It's never enough, never. After connecting, you can see what I have here. So I'll just label it as 1, 2, then 3 and 4. That is what I label it as. You get? So I'll just shade this part here. So this part I'm shading here will be cutting off. You get? So after I was done doing that, next thing to do now is to go ahead and take my basic measurements. So divide your bust circumference into 4, mark it, add your stitching allowance and your dart intake. Do you get? What I mean is that you should replace your dart as well. You get? I'll do the same thing for the waistline, then go ahead and connect it using my ruler. Then after I was done doing that, I'll just go ahead and cut it off just like you see me doing. Don't fight the fire too much, too fast, so burn us out. We walk the wire, love. Don't make me read your mind. I know it. Learn to trust. It's never enough, never enough. Burning me up, burning me up. So guys, after I was done cutting, you can see where I have here. Please do not mind the noise on my background. I couldn't help it. You get? So now you can see I'm arranging it. So I will label here as the center front, label the side as the side front, just like this. Then after I was done doing that, this is where I have just go ahead and cut off the 3-part corset. You get like this. Then after that, next thing to do now is to place another paper on fold. So I'll just go ahead and cut out the this one piece here at the top. You get, so I'll just go ahead and cut out this one here, this one here at the top, then cut out this other one. So I want to cut it out to give me my one piece. As you see me doing, I'm holding it down with my pin. That is just the first cup. I don't know if you get the upper piece, get for your cup, the upper part. Go ahead and place it on another piece of paper, then cut it out to give you your one piece. Do you get? If you don't understand what I'm saying, please look at what I'm doing. Then after I was done cutting, this is what I have. So I'll just go ahead and unpin it. Then I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Can you see now? You can see that remove the other piece, and this now has given me my one piece. Do you get? Now the next thing to do now is to go ahead and cut off the back. You get? So to cut off the back, first of all, I drew a straight line across like this. Then after that, I placed the front side pattern on the back paper like this. Then I'll just go ahead and pin it down first. After pinning it down, I'll just go ahead and sketch it down using, I'll sketch it out, I mean using my marker. Do you get? Just look at what I'm doing. So this is how you go about sketching it out. Sketch only the side out, then after that you go ahead and remove your pins. Do you get? After doing that, you can see what I have, guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and place my tape, place my ruler, then draw a straight line. So this is for the zipper. You get? If you want to add yours a back loop, no need of drawing this zipper allowance, but if you want to add your zipper allowance, you go ahead and draw the line. Do you get? This is 1 inch. After I was done doing that, you can see that I labeled it as the zip. You get? Then after that, you're going to place your tape. Now I'm going to go ahead and spot out the waistline just like this. So my waistline is 15 inches. I marked it. You get? Then I'll use my ruler to draw a straight line across, just like you see me doing. You get? Then after I was done doing that, next thing I'll just go ahead and do now is to go ahead and divide the bust span, which is 3.5 inches, then make my straight line like this. I'll just connect it from the top this way. Then after that, I'm going to subtract 1/2 inch. I already marked it, give it a slant, then marked it. You get? Then after that, this is what I have here. You get? So I won't be cutting the dart. You get? I won't be cutting it. That's how I will leave it. Now you can decide to leave your neckline for the back straight like this, or you come down by 2 inches or 1 inch for your round neck. You can decide to leave it straight, can decide to make your round neckline for the back, anyhow you choose to. You get? But I think the best is this straight line. You get? I just needed to make mine a little bit different by giving it a round neckline. Then after that, you can see that I divided my bust circumference into 4. Then I replaced the darts. I only replaced the dart. I didn't add any stitching allowance to it because I won't be cutting off this dart, and I won't be making that for the back as well. Do you get? So now after doing that, I will go ahead and now cut it off just like you see me doing. So guys, after cutting the back pattern, you can see what I have here. So these are the patterns for the front and the back and the curves as well. You can see what I have here. You can see. So this is how you go about drafting your 3-part corset. This is what I use, and this is what works for me, and I believe it will work for you as well. You get? So I have this 3 fabric here. Then this one here, I'm going to use it for the body, for the back and the front. Then use this one for the one cup and the cape. Then use this other one for the same thing, the 2 cups and the cape. Do you get? Now you can see what I have here. So guys, remember that at the front it's a Basque effect. You get? There is a Basque effect for the front. So remember that this is the side front and this is my waistline. So I spot it out here at the back and I label it as the waistline. Then after that, I placed my tape under the line here. Then I'm going to come down by 4 inches. First I marked 3 inches, then I checked it. No, I decided to add an extra inch. You get? So the extra inch I added was 1 inch. So I marked 4 inch there. Then after that, I'm going to connect it to give me a straight line. This is for the back. you get. So I supposed to have 18 inches on the front side, then 18 inches on the back side as well. You get. The basque for the front is different from this. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that my crop top, because a crop top, my crop top is 18 inches. You get. That's my crop top. So you can see what I have here. Now I want to transfer it to the actual fabric. So for the front, what I did is to place my pattern paper, then I already gone ahead to pin it down with my pin. Right now I'm adding extra 4 inches for the front. You get. So this 4 inches I'm adding here at the front is for the basque. You get. So this paper here, the length of this paper is 18 inches exactly, plus the stitching allowance, which is 1 inch. That is what I have there on the paper. You get. So I added extra 4 inch for the basque. You get. Then I added extra half an inch for the stitching allowance. You can see where I added the half an inch. So on the side I added half an inch, on the upper part I added half an inch. You get. So these are the places I added half an inch. You can see. Now go ahead and transfer the other patterns on the actual fabric, just like you see me did this one. Do you get? Then also go ahead and cut off the linings for all the piece I have. So yeah guys, you can see what I have here. I've gone ahead to cut out all the piece, transfer it to the actual fabric, did the lining, the same thing. Go ahead and cut out the lining as well. Then I'll just remove the curves and I'll go ahead and unpin those things here. After removing all the pins I have, now it's time for me to start the sewing. So the next thing to do now is to go ahead and start from the front piece. You get. So open it up like this, then go ahead and place the side on top of the center front, then give it half an inch stitching allowance. Can you see? Then also place this one other here and do the same thing. Use half an inch and sew it. After sewing, I'll be right back. So guys, you can see what I have here. This is what I have after I was done sewing, and I went ahead to also iron the seam opening as well. Then I already gone ahead to cut out this straight piece, and I sewed it already, ironed it out. Then I'm placing it. It's going to serve as the boning channel. I'm just creating the boning channel, so I'm placing it on the wrong side of the fabric this time around because I won't be sewing the prayers on the front side. So go ahead and place it on the wrong side of the fabric. This is by choice. You can start to place it on the front side, you can also start to place it on the wrong side. You get. Then after sewing, you can see where I have here, just sew on the tip. So this is the front and this is the back. I hope I'm not fast here. Can you see? Then after I was done, these are the curves. Now we are going to see how I'm going to do the curves. So this is the upper part for the one of the cup, you get, and this is the 2 piece left here for the small cup, you get. So what I'm doing now is that I'm holding it down with my pin at the side. So I'll just head over to my sewing machine and go ahead and sew it with half of an inch. Then after sewing, I'm going to join this upper part here as well. Then after I was done, you can see what I have. I did the same thing on the other cup, guys. So guys, this is what I have here after I was done sewing. Now you can see the wording. I already gone ahead to cut out the wording as well, and I also did the same thing I did for the cup, you get, on the main fabric, you get. So guys, next thing to do now is to place it inside, and I'm going to use my tailor's arm, head over to my ironing table, then go ahead and iron it out. So the wording I'm making use of is the one that has shining at the back. That's the kind of wording I like making use of. So you can see guys, I've gone ahead to iron it out. After ironing it out, this is what it looks like. So it's not always advisable to iron on a flat surface. You need this tailor arm. I already have it up on my channel. You can go ahead and watch how I made mine, you get. Then after I was done doing that, I'm going to place one of the cup like this. Place it very well, you get. Then hold it with your pin. Then after holding it down with your pin, you're going to sew it with half of an inch, you get. After doing that, I'll do the same thing for the other cup as well. So guys, this is what I have here after I was done. You can see what I have here. Can you see? So what I'm going to do next is to go ahead and notch it with my scissors, you get. So after sewing your cup, go ahead and notch. It's very, very important. After I was done notching the two curves, you can see what I have here. Now it's now relaxed very well, you get. Now the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is to fold it into two like this. Now it's time for me to create the basque effect at the front. So this is the pattern paper for the front, you get. So go ahead and place it out. You can see the waistline for the on the pattern paper. You can see the waistline on the pattern paper. Then I placed my tape. Then I'm going to come down by 4 inches here. So it's going to correspond with the 18 inches I already have on the back piece, you get. So my 15 inches waistline plus 4 inch is going to give me 18 inch plus 1 inch for stitching allowance. That is what I added at the front of this basque, and you know I did the same thing on the back, you get. So after making my basque, you can see what I have here. So I'm using my scissors now to cut it off, you get. So just place your ruler and make a V shape. That V shape is the basque you're talking about, you get. Then after that, you can see what the front turn out to look like, you get. You can see what the front turns out to look like. So this is the back piece. You can see that I'm placing it on both sides of the front. Place them the right side facing each other like this. Then after that, I'm going to hold it down with my pin. I will just pin the zipper allowance, which is 1 inch. I'll just go ahead and pin it down. Then after pinning it down, it's time for me now to join the both side, you get. So you can see what I have here, and you can see that the length of the back and the front is the same apart from the V shape at the front. You can see that the both sides are equal, you get. So what I'm doing now is marking 1 inch for the stitching allowance for the both side. So when I was drafting, you know, I didn't add any stitching allowance, you get. There is no dart for the both fabric. I didn't make that for the both piece, you get. So the inch I added for the dart is what I'm using now to sew this, do you get. So after I was done sewing, you can see what I have here. So I'm just going ahead to remove my pin. Then after pinning it down, just cut off the excess because I felt like the stitching allowance there is bigger, so I just want to cut it or just trim it off a little bit, so it's going to balance very well with the lining when joining it on the other side. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then after I was done doing that, this is what I have here. Can you see? So I also went ahead to iron it out very well, so it's looking so beautiful. Now you can see what I have here, guys. Then I already gone ahead to make this on the lining as well, you get. This is the back view, guys. So I'll just go ahead and place my lining. So guys, you can see what I have. Everything I've done on this actual fabric, I did it on the lining, and this is what it looks like. Can you see? This is the back as well. So I'll also go ahead and trim off the side for the lining, you get. Then do the same thing for the other side as well. After trimming, I'll keep the both main fabric and lining aside. Then I'll work on the crisscross. And this crisscross now, I know it's the part everybody has been waiting for, you get. So I'm going to go ahead and work on it right away. Get your crisscross neckline. You're going to place your tape from the side of the cup. You can see where I placed it. Then go ahead and measure it to the other side. Do the same thing for here, you get. Then after I was done, I got 6 inches, you get. So after getting this 6 inches, I'll just remove the blouse away. Now this is a straight piece of fabric. I already gone ahead to cut it out and it's on fold, do you get. So I'll just place my tape. I'll add 3.5 inches, that is extra half inch for the stitching allowance at this top here. So coming down here, I added 2 inches extra. So from this top here, I'm going to connect it to meet the 2 inches I have here, you get. So this 3.5 inches is on fold. When I open it up, it's going to give me 7 inches. When I join it, after joining everything, it's going to have, I'm going to have 6 inches left, you get. And the length I have there is 20 inches by long, do you get. So to get this cape for your crisscross neckline, you will be needing ×2 of your chest line, you get. From your shoulder down to your chest line, you'll be needing it into 2. So mine is 7.5. If yours is 8, that means you will be having like 16 inches. And what I have here is 20 inches. So it's going to be okay because I will be slanting it later. So after everything, it will correspond to the 16 inches if yours is 8, do you get. Now you can see that I've gone ahead to cut it out. I have it into two, and one is for the lining and one is for the main cape. And I also went ahead to place them the right side facing each other, then went ahead to join it using half of an inch. Then after that, you can see what I have here, and I also went ahead to iron it out. So I placed it to know what I have there, and now I have 20 inches exactly. Do you get? So now after I was done doing that, you can see what I have here. So you're going to bring one of the cape, place them like this. Do you get? You're going to place them this way. You get? You're not, if you're making use of any color you're making use of at all, you're going to be placing the color of the cape on the same cup. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Just look at what I'm doing. So go ahead and place it like that. I'm just trying to arrange them in place, just like you see me doing. Then do the same thing for here as well. You get? Then after I was done doing it like this, I'm just observing which way that is going to be okay, which slant that is going to be okay. Now I think I got this slant here. I got it. Now I'm going to use my chalk to sketch it out, then do the same thing for this other side. You can see how I placed it. Then after sketching it out, you're going to remove the blouse, then use your scissors to cut it off. You can see that it's on slant, it's not straight. You get? Just go ahead and use your scissors to cut it off. Do the same thing for the other side. I believe you understand what I'm saying. Please forgive me if I'm too fast on this video, please, it's too long. Now after I was done cutting it out, this is what I have here. So I measured it. You can see that at the hem is of the same length. At the top here, I had to trim off a bit little excess there. You get? Then after I was done doing that, you can see what I have here. Next thing to do is to bring my cup again. Then I'm just going to place it. So this side here, the slanted side, will be facing towards the side front. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Let it face here. You get? The slanted side on the cape should face the side. You get? While the straight side should face the center. Then go ahead and place them this way. Then hold it down with your pin and sew with half of an inch like this. You get? Then after sewing, this is what you're going to have here. So guys, I'm done sewing and this is what I have here, as you can see. So this is what I have here after I was done sewing. Now I'm trying to know which color of the fabric I will be placing on the top. Just checking if it will be fine with this red or the yellow. And after observing everything, I think I'll just place the red on top of it. Yes, I'll just place the red on top of it. Now after choosing which color I would want to place on top, now it's time to join the back. You get? So for the side back, you can see that it's open, so I'm going to mark 5 inches from the side. Then when you close it, it's going to be 2.5. Then do the same thing for here, mark 2.5 here, sorry, 5 inch here. So when you close it, it's going to give you 2.5. Then after that, you are going to close the back zipper, sorry, the back piece. Just close it this way. Then now we are going to be placing the cape at the back, the right side facing each other. You can see how I placed mine. Then use your pin to hold them in place exactly from where you marked your chalk. Go ahead and start placing the band from there. Then pin it down and use half inch to sew it. You can see how I did mine, so do yours like that. Then after that, you're going to do the same thing here. Then after pinning it down, the first thing I did was to check it on myself, just put it on myself to see how good it's looking. And after that, I had to pull it down, then pin it very well with my pin and head over to my sewing machine, then sew it with half of an inch. Remember that anytime you are pinning a dress or you're taking a particular style, you're not going to start sewing immediately. Just observe it very well before you can now go ahead and sew, unless you're ready to loosen it up later. Do you get? So I'll just go ahead and join it with half of an inch. So guys, after I was done joining, you can see where I have here. So I've not added my zipper yet. I'll add it later. Now after I was done, you can see what I have here. The next thing to do is to place my lining and sew. So when placing your lining the right side facing each other, go ahead and remove all the bands or the cape you have on your neckline. Make sure they are all inside. Then go ahead and place your lining, hold it with your pin. Then after that, you're going to sew it using 1/2 inch. Do you get? So I'll just tell you where to sew. You're going to sew the upper part from the zipper allowance down to the upper part, and the armhole. You're going to sew everything. Also sew the down part as well. So on the zipper allowance, you're going to leave a space, just one piece space, where you're going to turn it over to the right side. So if you don't understand what I'm saying, just look at what I'm demonstrating here. So just look at what I'm doing. You're going to sew this upper part here, then sew this downside here. You get? Then after sewing the downside, you're going to sew one of the zipper area and leave the other one for the turn up. Do you get? So guys, after I was done, this is where I have. Can you see where I sewed and where I left for the turn up? You're going to also go ahead and notch the neckline part. Do you get? Notch it this way. Then after notching everything, I'm going to turn it over to the right side.
Two sparks ignited. We left some space for us to breathe. My head is quiet now. I can rest in peace, cause you are more than enough, more than
So guys, after I was done sewing, you can see where I have here. I'm done joining my lining, and I also went ahead to give it a very nice press using my iron like this. You can see. So this is the back. Only thing left now is the zipper, which I'll be doing later. You get? So I'll just go ahead and wear it so you guys see how it looks like. So guys, after wearing it, you can see how it looks like, just like you see in the beginning of the video. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.